and I'd be pulling in a little after midnight. Only a partial lie. I would make it back to my mom's one-bedroom apartment outside of Atlanta a little after midnight, and I was loading up my car with the very little I wanted to keep. For the most part, I was leaving everything behind. I wanted to light it all on fire, but settled for abandoning it in the hellhole that was my university. Up until yesterday, it had been my home. Up until last night, it had been everything I'd wanted as a starry-eyed, music-loving girl who sacrificed going out with her friends in high school just to practice piano. Up until now, Bramlock University was everywhere I wanted to be. Now, it was my prison. And I knew one thing for sure. I was leaving for winter break tonight, and I was never, ever coming back. As if that truth was the last bit of fuel inside me, I popped up off the floor and shot straight into my tiny bathroom. I shared it with my roommate and closest friend, Renee, but she'd already finished her finals and headed home for break. I knew I'd miss her. I also knew I'd never tell her why I wouldn't be back. I ran the shower as hot as I could. So hot the steam fogged the mirror before I could undress. I didn't bother throwing my clothes in the laundry basket I already had piled high and ready to take care of when I got to Mom's. Instead, I tossed the ripped leggings in the trash. The skirt, tank top, and sweater quickly followed, and I didn't so much as give them a second look before I stepped into the piping hot shower. I didn't pull away from the water, even though it burned. My dark umber skin grew an angry red in protest, my nervous system warning me against injury, but I knew it'd survive. If I could survive last night, I could survive anything. I was the girl who cried wolf. I'd waited to shower, because that's what they always told you. Don't shower after being raped. They give you a whistle at freshman orientation and a list of what to do if it ever happens to you, as if it's as simple as getting lice or the flu. Here's how to remedy that rape, my child. Take this pamphlet. I laughed out loud at the audacity of it all, finally used to the water as it spilled down my bare back. That whistle they'd given me was buried somewhere in the bottom of my desk drawer. If I'd had it, would I have been able to get to it, to blow it loud enough that someone would have heard? But I shook that thought away, because it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I did what was right. I took all the proper steps. I didn't shower, and I went to the music director, and I told her my story. I showed her the bruises and relived every torturous moment while she pressed her lips together with a sympathetic bend in her brows, nodding as I replayed the assault. And then she grabbed my hand, squeezed it, and told me it was best to keep this between us. This. As if this was referring to something like a little white lie I was keeping from my roommate, or to something I'd walked in and witnessed her doing wrong. Let's just keep this between us, Dr. Chores had said. These are strong allegations, and you will have a lot of rough years ahead if you follow through with them. Go home tonight and think about what you're saying, and more importantly, about who you're saying it about. Because my wolf wasn't a wolf in the eyes of Bramlock University. In their eyes, he was a god. He was a piano legend, a blessing to our music program. Thank God he'd wanted to retire in Florida, they'd say, since that was where our university was. And how could it possibly be that such an accomplished man with so much respect could ever do something as horrendous as rape his student? As the water started to run cold, I felt the soreness from my wolf between my legs. That's something else they don't tell you about in those stupid rape pamphlets. No one tells you that when you're a virgin, rape doesn't just feel like an invasion. It feels like you're being ripped from the inside out, like your assaulter is...